Hey, Scott Lair of the CruiseGenius.com. This video brought to you by GigSky. If you are concerned about having a high cell phone bill when you go on a cruise or if you travel overseas, GigSky is your answer. GigSky is a company that provides data plans. And all you got to do is go to gigsky.com, check out which option you want if you're going on a cruise, if you're traveling overseas. And the technology uses your built-in eSIM right in your phone. Don't have to plug in anything. And then you're on the eSIM, and then you have data and no big bill. So email me directly, slara1961@gmail.com. I'll give you a super secret link and a promo code so that you can get 10% off your GigSky account. Let's talk about the differences between cruise and all-inclusive resort vacations. Let me just say this to get it out of the way. Most resorts in the U.S. are not all-inclusive resorts. You're going to have to pay a resort fee. You may have to pay for dinner. Ooh, you may get free bicycles or free paddle boards, free. But there's going to be a lot of other expenses you're going to have to pay for at U.S. resorts. So if you're looking at doing a vacation, if it's just you and the spouse, or if it's you and the kids, you know, if you're budget conscious, you really need to add up these fees and these costs. Give me an example. You know, I'm a big fan of cruising. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran. I love to cruise. And for the most part, cruises are all inclusive, with the exception of maybe you've got to pay for Wi-Fi, pictures, the casino, specialty restaurants, alcohol, soda, water. Those are extra expenses. But your accommodations, the entertainment, food, for the most part, you got water you get out of the tap, or you can get lemonade, or stuff like that, tea, coffee, that's free. But for the most part, cruising is all inclusive with those exceptions. Now I will say, like Sandals or the Palladium Hotel Group, those all-inclusive resorts are not in the U.S. The Palladium resorts are in Punta Cana, Jamaica, and Mexico, and also in Ibiza. But I've been to all of them in Mexico, in Jamaica, and in the Dominican Republic, and also the TRS resorts that are right there with them. TRS Cap Cana, TRS Turquesa, TRS Yucatan, TRS Coral. Love them all, adults only. So what are the big differences? Most Americans can drive to a cruise port. You have several cruise ports in Florida. You have Jacksonville, you have Tampa, you have Port Canaveral, Miami. So you can, if you're like in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, or else like if you live in Texas, you go to Galveston, Nolens, you can sail on Nolens, New Orleans, and you can sail out of California. So cruising, great for couples, great for families, great for bachelorette party, bachelor party, solo, you name it. I mean, cruising is good for any demographic, that you're in. And of course, with Virgin Voyages, they're LGBTQ friendly, which is great. I love Virgin Voyages. Sailed on Scarlet Lady last year. I sailed on Scarlet Lady last year and had a great time with my brother-in-law. I took him. Of course, MSC, was on MSC Seashore recently. Been on Celebrity Solstice, been on several Carnival ships. And so cruising is a great, if you're looking at the numbers, right? Because you just drive to a cruise port, park, maybe stay at a hotel the night before, leave your car parked there. And there's some hotels that do that, have a park and cruise special. And so, but when you look at resorts, I'm getting weird here. I mean, you have the all-inclusive resorts. Now you're talking about airfare. And I have a very close friend of mine. He has like 4 kids. So they got to get plane tickets, go through TSA. It can be a real nightmare. If you got a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old, and you got some kids, and you got your wife, going through all that can be. And then, when you land in Cancun, if you got bags that you've checked, It can take a little while to get those bags off the carousel. They're very slow down there in Cancun. So, if you were to ask me, hey Scott, all expenses paid, what would you do? That's a tough question to answer. Yes, I love the all-inclusive resorts. I think it's great. Unpack only once. The rooms are bigger at all-inclusive resorts. And the all-inclusive resorts like Palladium and Sandals is pretty, liquor, soda, water, bottled water. The restaurants, are pretty much included. Now you can do excursions. I say shore excursions because I talk about cruising, but shore excursions are extra on cruises, and they're extra at all-inclusive resorts. I just want to caution you though, really look at the all-inclusive resorts in the US and see what extra fees you're going to have to pay, because you don't want to be blindsided at the end of the stay and you look at your bill, oh wait a minute, resort fee, daily resort fee. And of course Orlando is notorious for those resort fees. So anyway, got any questions? Escelera1961@gmail.com. Be happy to answer your questions about cruising. I'd be happy to answer your questions about all-inclusive resorts. Happy to help you with any questions you have about those things.